Last week, California's Dianne Feinstein, the oldest and most senior Democrat in the Senate, announced that she would not seek re-election next year. The move clears the way for what many expect to be a costly and extremely competitive race for a seat Feinstein has held for 30 years. Representatives Katie Porter of Orange County and Adam Schiff of Los Angeles have already tossed their hats into the ring. On Tuesday, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, who represents Oakland, announced that she, too, would join her colleagues in the race. Lee, who was born in El Paso, where she had to drink from separate water fountains and was forbidden from entering certain theaters, went on to become a fierce advocate for abortion rights and LGBTQ rights. Lee was the only member of Congress to vote against the authorization for the use of military force after 9/11 that gave George W. Bush sweeping anti-terrorism war powers, which those of us who opposed the Iraq War said, to which we said, hear, hear. And I will note that there has not been a black woman in the United States Senate since Vice President Kamala Harris vacated her seat back in 2021. California's primary is a free-for-all, which means that voters can pick any candidate, regardless of party, and the top two vote getters advance to the general election. And Congresswoman Barbara Lee joins me now. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here. Tell me why you jumped into this very crowded race.
Hi, Joy. I'm glad to be with you. Well, first of all, let me just say it's important that people understand that I'm running for them, not myself. I'm running for people who really haven't had a voice in the Senate for many years. And you mentioned the fact that there have only been 2 African-American women serving. But let me just clarify one point. Since 1789, there have been 2 African-American women serving for a total of 10 years. Just think of the loss of our perspective, the fact that Black women live sort of in an intersectional manner at the areas of discrimination, racism, gender inequality, LGBTQ discrimination. I mean, all of those issues we bring to the table. And you know what? We fought and we've been successful in beating back as part of the resistance, and we fought to get the job done. And so Black women deserve a seat at the table, not only for our communities, but to lift everyone up and to make sure that everyone has a seat and to make this country stronger.
So let's talk about, it is a political race, and so there's going to be a challenge. And there are now 3, I would say political heavyweights in this race, yourself included. Adam Schiff, Congressman Adam Schiff, who people really got to know through the impeachment trials and as well as the January 6th hearings. He's running with the endorsement of former Speaker Nancy Pelosi. She's endorsed him. And he and Katie Porter have raised a lot of money. I asked my producers to pull the amounts. I mean, Adam Schiff has raised $20.6 million. Katie Porter is sitting on about $7.7 million. You are at a financial deficit at about $54.9 thousand. How do you overcome those deficits in terms of the support from people like Speaker Pelosi and the money?
Well, Joy, first of all, the speaker, like anyone, have their own rights to decide who they would like to endorse. They have the right to do that. But secondly, it was interesting to see that chart because you know what? There are many barriers, of course, for Black women and women of color to raise money the way that others raise money. But having said that, I have raised money over the years to support our party, to pay the DCCC dues, to help women and women of color, Black women, to help candidates who are frontliners and people who are having a difficult time winning their elections. I've raised money and I've contributed to money. And when you understand the way we're going to run our campaign, I'm going to raise the money to win, but it won't be the way that others raise their money. And I'm asking for small donations, for recurring donations. I'm asking for the public to support me through Barbara Lee for California, that's ca.com. And we're going to win this. And when you look at how Karen Bass won her race, 9 million to 100 million. LA County is not the state of California, but believe you me, there are strategies and there are ways that we win races by talking to the voters, sharing my life experiences with the voters, and making sure the voters know that I'm with them and that I have a history of working together with my colleagues as a progressive Black woman to make sure that I get the job done. And I've gotten the job done on many issues for the community and for the state.
Just one very quick issue. You addressed it in your video, your launch video, and you said that those who might question, I mean, the United States Senate, sort of the average age in the United States Senate is, I believe it's something like in the 60s or 70s, late 60s. It's a bit younger in the House. Your two opponents are not that much younger in terms of Adam Schiff, but Katie Porter is. How do you address the question of people who say the Democratic Party needs to really start looking at a younger generation of candidates?
Well, Joy, first of all, I say experience does count. And we're at a moment now where we're dealing with really threats to our democracy, the MAGA Republican extremists. And you need somebody who's going to stand their ground, who has the courage to fight and not back down, and who can bring people together. And when you look at the fact that I have experience, many call me the OG. You know, I've been a progressive all of my life. And I know how to get the job done. And so when it comes to age, you know, when does, making change ever go out of style? And so I don't accept that. And I'm going to continue to fight for California. I'm going to continue to raise money in this race. We're going to continue to speak directly to the voters like I did during my video. And we intend to go to voters, have them understand that I see them, that I'm going to work for them, and I have an experience, and they can trust me because all they have to do is look at my record.
Congresswoman Barbara Lee, thank you and wishing you best of luck.